I'll be back.
You'll be back. That's the first thing people heard. Great.
You better.
My name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist, the pre-show. Thank you very much for joining us.
I followed the link. It works really well.
Excellent.
It's so good.
Okay, I know, it's perfect.
I'm starting to record. Hang on a second. I'm hearing voice. Whose voice am I hearing? I'm hearing all our voices.
Hearing what I said when I first came in, it recorded everything.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'll be back.
That's weird. Is it the first thing people heard? Great. My name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist. I can still hear myself. Okay, it must be open on my computer somewhere.
You followed the link. It works really well. I know, it's perfect.
Oh, it's my fault. It's my fault.
I guess we were online, Peter. I guess we were live, huh?
No, we weren't. We weren't. When I started.
Now it is. Now our recording is.
Yeah, no. When I hit the record button, that's when it went. But don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
We weren't live before. Okay, good. So we clicked the link. So I don't think we should have any more problems now.
I know, it's wonderful.
Yay!
Yeah.
I sent out the invites. We'll see who's joining us. Good news.
Send the link to my mom, please.
Yes, mother. What is her? Okay, here we go. There should be. Excellent. Oh, let me send that to. Well, Diane should see it if she wants to join. I'm very happy. I'm hoping it's not going to be any more struggling to get on the air. Now we'll have the problem of having too many people.
Well, as you said before, this is a good problem to have.
That's right. My diamond shoes are too tight, you know. Okay, I'm very pleased. I have everything ready. Oh, Sam, are you there? She's not there. Val, do you remember the words that we had last time at your place? I don't have them here.
Inspiration, something like that.
No.
So inspiring was one, inspiration was one, and I don't think we have another one.
No, I don't think we have another one.
Val, it's up to you.
It's up to me.
Take your time if you want.
It's up to me. Possibilities.
Ooh, I like that. Possibilities. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. Great. Oh, good. I solved a few problems today. Today was a problem-solving day.
Wonderful.
I have one last one that's stuck in my head, but there should be a solution to that. Oh, so yes, we're watching the pre-show. If you're watching a recording of this, the show starts at 7 p.m., so you can just fast forward a couple of minutes, and you should be at the beginning of the show. If you'd like to participate with us live on the air with your webcam and/or microphone, well, microphone, but and/or webcam, you can just click on the link that is in the description of the event on our meetup page. So if you go to meetup.com/TLOANTL, then you'll see at the bottom of this event the link has been posted there. Just click on that, and you'll be able to participate live. Made it simpler. So I'm going to have to change the description and all that to the event. Huh? I'm going to have to change that around. All those instructions. I got an email today. It said from someone who said it was too complicated. It seemed too complicated, so they just wanted to meet in person. When are we going to go back to the tea shop? She asked me. So this might make it easier. Hey Sam! Oh my God, you look so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you look great.
Washed my hair.
Oh, did you?
You always make that joke, right, Peter?
Yeah.
You always say, I look pretty. Oh, you washed your hair. It's not like my hair is always dirty.
Okay. Keyboard. So we're going to be starting very soon.
Am I able to take that
same
same
baby
link?
is going to be joining us?
It says yes on meetup. Am I able to take that link and like send it to my mom because she's still?
I sent it to her on Hangouts.
Hmm.
But yes, you can take that, copy that link and send it to her. Yeah.
Okay.
I love how we have colors. Some went with aqua.
Yeah, that's my color, I think.
I know it is.
For now, anyway. What are you? Let's see. Oh, yeah, pink.
Well, it's just because it fits with the flower. And actually, I'm dressed in pink today.
Oh.
Peter, how was the comedy show yesterday?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I did okay. I'm not going to kill myself tonight, so that's good. It went well. I had a lot of fun. A good number of people came out. The place was full. About 8 people were there to see me. Joel was there, brought a friend. Christine was there, brought a friend. Brian and a friend was there. Alex came, which was great. Tom. So it's like we had a crowd just for me, and that. I don't know if people know this, but it really helps me to get on stage. The more they can see that I bring people, that people come to see me, the more likely it is that I'll go on stage. So it was very, very cool.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there. It was really too last minute for me, but
Yeah.
I thought of you guys.
No worries. I honestly didn't even think to create an event until Monday. Tom told me to. Until Tuesday, Tom told me to do it. I don't know why it slipped my mind, but I think I was too distracted with other things.
You probably you don't have enough to do, I think. Hi, baby.
Hi, Val. Hi, Peter.
Hey, baby. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Sorry I couldn't go yesterday because
Oh,
I
boy.
had to go to gym. I ate too much. So, yeah.
Baklava? No, don't worry about it.
Well, I had. Okay, my friend made a lemon cake, so there's
Sounds
that.
good.
So how many miles do you have to run for lemon cake? Huh?
I don't know. It's just I do Zumba. I mean, yesterday I did 2.5 hours.
Nice. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if, like, on packages of cookies and stuff, it showed you right next to calories, like how long you'd have to run on a treadmill to burn it off?
That's a great idea.
Good idea, yeah. And other activities, like at least suggest, like, I don't know, 3 to 5 different activities to burn it off.
That's right. If you went to a Cinnabon and it said on one Cinnabon it takes a week of running, you'd be like, I'm not eating a Cinnabon.
Oh, I would eat a Cinnabon. I would eat They're so good. Peter, do you think maybe it would be good to share the link on the Appreciationist Facebook page? I see some people who are liking.
It's just that that link you're not really supposed to like make it available. You're supposed to send it privately because anybody can click on the link and just pop in. And so I put it on our meetup page, but I wouldn't want to necessarily do that because people will just click in and be able to come to the show. So I just for quality control, I'd rather it not be so visible. Anybody who's having trouble coming in, they can just go to the meetup page and click it there. And after the episode, I'm likely to remove it.
Okay.
I think it might be the same link, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to share it on the Facebook page because it's too public.
Okay. Well, the link really worked.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really awesome.
How did you figure that out?
I just did a lot of Google searching, and then they told me about this link. I remember trying the link before, but it was hit or miss, and but it seems to be fine. I updated my Google Hangouts, and you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm glad. A few people were having this problem. Sam was telling me, email Google, and I was like, I'm sure people have already done that, and so I found it. Okay, so I have that announcement to do. Sam, are you? Well, that'll be a moment of appreciation. You're going to be telling your events at the end of the show or at the beginning, at the top?
We always do it at the end, no?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted to change it up, because I don't know if people watch at the end. So.
I don't know. Well, it's up to you. If you're going to change it up, then we'll do that. But
No, I'm going to do mine at the end, but I do it at the end because people can cut out, can leave.
Oh, I don't care. I'll do it at the end.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I act very stupid at the end of the show just for the fun of it, because I'm like, maybe there's like one guy watching, one girl watching or something.
Yeah, I think I watched one really till the end of the show, and it was funny. Sam, maybe you could
I'm a fan of, like,
you could maybe announce your events maybe right before West for dinner. I don't know.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
but
I don't care either, Peter. I'm not gonna.
well, it's all good. Already, the show's already long, so I'll keep it the way it is. Let me just get this in here.
My mom says she's
we're gonna have
there.
to start now. So there's gonna be three of us. That works perfectly. Today we're talking about negative people. Are you guys interested in that, or should it be something else?
Yeah, it was a surprise when I saw that. How did you come up with the idea?
I was talking to someone yesterday at the comedy show, and somebody from our meetup came out, and she had mentioned something about it, and I thought, oh, it might be cool to talk about. A few people have talked to me about, how do you deal with people who are difficult, and so I thought it might be fun. I'm very good at it. So. Okay, so we're going to start in 2 seconds.
My mom says she's here, but she doesn't want to use her camera, but I don't see her.
I don't.
At first she said it wasn't working. I'm not sure.
You said she's here in the show? Is she in someone else's show?
I sent her the right link.
But you know, last week how, and I remember when I was on, I saw Viraj was there for a minute, and then I watched the show again yesterday because I had missed the beginning of it, and Viraj never showed. I mean, he showed up for like 2 seconds, like I could see, his the little square at the bottom for 2 seconds, and then you guys kept mentioning that he was there, but he was muted or whatever, but then you couldn't see his square at all, as if he wasn't there at all. That was very.
But he left at some point. He left, I think, halfway through the show.
You guys were talking as if he was still there, so it's like on your computer you could still see him, but on the recording he wasn't there.
I read that today, actually. One of the problems someone was writing that people were on, but they couldn't. You can see them in the recording.
Okay.
So I just read about that problem, so I don't know what it was. Maybe it's a connection issue. Maybe if the connection is too poor, then it doesn't want to mess up the recording. I don't know.
Could be.
But we'll get started. So I'll do the introductions and moment of appreciation. You guys going to volunteer? You guys know who wants to go first? Second?
Beatty wants to
Beatty
go
will go first. Excellent.
I'll go second.
Sam, just make sure that everything that you have that has a connection is closed, like Dropbox, Skype.
Yeah, I'm just messaging my mom, sending her different links to either watch or join. So.
Cool. Sam's the producer doing her producer job. Okay, let's see here. Okay, where's my pen? Make sure it works. I was going to pick a joke today, and I really liked it, but it was too much of a Christian joke, and if you didn't know about the story about heaven and stuff like that, you wouldn't get it. But I really liked the joke, and I'm waiting for an opportunity to say it. Val and Sam, I think, might get it, but Baby, I don't think she grew up with a Christian upbringing. You guys know that the streets of heaven in the Christian Bible are supposedly paved with gold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Baby, did you ever hear about that?
No.
Say that again?
I'm not Christian.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if it was in movies or shows, or I don't know how people get exposed to that stuff. I talked to some person who knew about Jesus but didn't know that he was on a cross, and I was like, "What? Really?"
That I know.
That I know. Okay, here we go. Take this off. Hi, my name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist. Thank you very much for joining us. On tonight's show, we're talking about negative people and how to deal with them. It's going to be a fun conversation, a fun topic, but before we get to that, let's introduce the guests in our room. And I'm saying guests, but we have our wonderful co-host and producer here, Betty. Thank you very much for joining us. Val and Samantha, hi, how you guys doing?
Hello.
Excellent. Awesome. So just before we jump into our moment of appreciation, I wanted to do just a quick announcement for one of our co-hosts here, Valerie How do you pronounce your last name?
Soule.
I always said Sul, but I never got corrected. Soule. Thank you so much. So she sent us an email. She wanted to offer a special to the viewers of The Appreciationist. It's only for the viewers of The Appreciationist, and it's a special for 1 month. So Valerie is a life coach, and she is willing to offer a special discount. Now, the way this works is that it's called Pay What You Want. So for the next month, if you take her services, all you have to do is pay what you want, mention that you're from The Appreciationist, and you'll get that deal during the time of the promotion. So that's until May 22nd. Did I get that right, Val?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Awesome. And if you want to find out more about her, find out more what she's doing, go check out her site. It's thepowerofemotions.ca. And I know if she speaks up, we're going to see her site right under her name.
I'm here, and you can see my site right there.
Awesome. Very cool. Excellent. So the most important thing that we do during this show is called a moment of appreciation. That's when we look back at the past week and we pick out something that we can appreciate, or it could be something that didn't go over so well but that you can appreciate now. I'll give you a quick example. I've been beating my head, banging my head, solving some computer problems, and today I was able to fix them, and I feel this huge sense of relief. And so that's a moment of appreciation that I would share. We had a volunteer in our pre-show who looked eager to share her moment of appreciation. And I want to hear what's going on with you, Beatty.
I really appreciate the fact that finally summer is almost here, although it's raining, but the rain is good for me because I haven't changed my winter tires and I haven't get an appointment for it because apparently there are so many cars, all the garages are full. It only takes like appointments from 2 weeks in the future. So it's really busy time for garage right now, and I'm so happy it's not so sunny and hot. I still want my winter tire to work for more years. And the other thing is
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, it really works. And the raining weather is gonna stay here for a weekend. So this weekend I will have some indoor activities for a change. And another thing is I have a friend who invited me and another friend of mine to go gun shooting tomorrow. And it's going to be
gun shooting?
Yes.
I'm so jealous. That's so cool.
Yeah. I don't know how I got into this opportunity, but yeah, there it is.
Oh, Beatty, you always have, I mean, you get the best list of activities ever.
Maybe just focus and visualize the future, and finally you get what you want.
That's right. You visualize and you hold that thought, and then any opportunity that arises, you engage within it, and then the world just sort of shapes itself around you. And you always have these very interesting moments of appreciation. You're the only Canadian that I know now who's going to be saying, I'm glad it's not hot and sunny outside. I'm glad that it's raining. If you can, and only if you can, and only if it's safe, and only if you want to, snap a picture for the Appreciationist with you at the gun range. I would love to see that. Maybe just the target. I know you're not going to hold the gun and take a picture. We're not crazy here, but if you can, it might be fun to see you doing that. But only if you want to, and don't worry about it. Otherwise, we'll just visualize it. Very cool. So that is a wonderful moment of appreciation. Who was next?
I'm next.
Valerie.
I'm the one who's giving the echo. I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, no, so I think it's gone now. It's fine. Oh, actually, I do hear it. Maybe I am the one who's doing that. I'm sorry. I'll try to talk slowly. My moment of appreciation goes actually back to last week, but Tuesday last week. All of a sudden, I decided I wanted to change the furniture in my bedroom. And it happens to me like that, where I want to change furniture, and it's almost like it has to be done because it feels like it's the same as having clothes that don't fit. It's like all of a sudden, like the room doesn't fit anymore. So on Tuesday last week, for an hour, I sat in my room visualizing how I could just switch everything and make it feel better. And then Wednesday last week, I was busy, as you guys know. I was away for a business trip, so I didn't have time. But right after the Appreciationist, I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to change everything in my room. So in 3 hours, I switched everything around, hoping I didn't make too much noise for my neighbors downstairs. But that's it, because it's like I couldn't stand to have my bed where it was before. It's like I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to be in a different place. It had to feel different. It was like, it felt like spring, like something new. You know, I needed something new. So I did that, and then it took another 3 days to really finish. But most of what I needed to do was done really right after the Appreciationist, and I had amazing energy to do this. And I've been loving my bedroom. It's just, I love it. I love where my bed is. It's right under the window, and it just feels wonderful and fresh and new and like it's spring. And I'm enjoying the light from outside, and so it's loving it, just loving it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool. Yeah, I know exactly how you're feeling. I know that when the room doesn't fit, something doesn't jive right, and you just have to tackle it, you know. You have to get to it, and then you rearrange it, and I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad that I don't know if it's feng shui or whatever it's called, but there's a way that a room can be set up that really helps you to sort of think and have a peace of mind. Excellent.
I honestly think it probably looks it looks not as nice as it looked before when you walk in, but it feels great when you're in it. So I went with that more than the look. I went with what it felt like.
Well, you're making me feel like changing around my furniture now, so I might get to that afterwards. But thank you so much for sharing that moment of appreciation. That's awesome. And last but not least,
me. Me? Okay, so I am extremely excited. Back in January and February, I was contacted by CBC News, The National, who wanted to film me and my group, Self-Discovery Montreal Meetup. And so that was filmed back in January and February, and we were supposed to be a part of a segment on happiness. And it was supposed to be in February, then in March, and then April. And finally, I found out yesterday, it is airing tonight. So it's going to be airing tonight. It is so a segment on happiness. I think it's mostly about the happiness advantage that Sean Aker, a book that Sean Aker wrote. I don't know exactly what is going to be shown, but I'm super excited. Val was also a part of that. A bunch of the members were, and so.
Do you have a copy of the book? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you have a copy of the book? Real quick?
I do. Happiness Advantage. Sean Aker. Okay, but the other biggest thing that happened this morning was so I tweeted on my Facebook page, Samantha Barley, not Facebook, on Twitter about the broadcast tonight, and I shared it with Sean Aker, and Sean Aker retweeted my post to his 28,000 followers. So this morning, that was what I woke up to, that this man who's been interviewed by Oprah, who travels the world, who has books, who's super successful, teaching at Harvard and everything, retweeted my post. So it was just so wonderful, the exposure that I'll get for that there'll be new members in the group. It's wonderful to feel that, and the fact that it'll be on TV tonight, and I'm super excited of the possibilities out of all of this, and I was freaking out this morning, calling everybody, and yeah,
it's such great news.
I wake up this morning and Sam, she calls me on Google Hangouts. It's the first thing that I see in the morning, and I look at her face, and she's all beaming, and I'm like, "What is the good news?" She's like, she's dragging it out.
Yeah, so funny.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all. So it's going to be on tonight at what time?
9 p.m. CBC News, The National, and then you can watch it online. I think it's supposed to be posted at 10 p.m. on the CBC News, The National website. You can watch it there. So.
Great.
I think today was the first day in a decade where I wish I had a television with cable.
Me too.
I can't watch it live. I have to wait for it to be online. I have to wait an hour, and I'm not the type of guy who likes to wait an hour for something I want to watch. So, but it'll be online tonight at 10 p.m. so you can watch it free online. And I think you and I will certainly have a viewing party. We can watch that, and should I sweat on your behalf or?
Sure.
I can split it up for all of us. Excellent.
How are you feeling about it, Val? How do you feel? You're going to be on TV tonight too. Hopefully.
I'm nervous. Honestly, I'm nervous, but I'm super curious and excited at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. So cool. So cool.
Val's going to be on. Alex is going to be on. Khaled's going to be on. Joelle. I don't know what they're going to cut and what they're going to leave in, but
there's Maida. Don't forget Maida, Tonya. Yeah, I think Cynthia. There we go.
Yeah, the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear the conversation that's going to be happening afterwards. We're going to have some fun times tomorrow when we're talking about this. When we see people at karaoke, we'll have this to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So good, guys. So proud of you. I'm proud of you, Sam. Proud of you, Val, and everybody who participated with it. I know people were nervous about it, but you got outside of your comfort zone, and Sam is obviously very good at getting that done. Excellent, you guys. I see we have one more person who joined the room, so I'm just going to make sure that... you know, I was a little worried when I posted the link that people would join not wanting to be on air, just wanting to watch. So I'm just going to...
Let them be for now. Let them be.
I'll share my moment of appreciation. So I got to have some stage time yesterday. I had a blast going on stage. I was, for some reason, very sort of scared. I was too tired, and I wasn't able to manage my feelings properly. But I didn't panic too much, and I went on stage, and I sweat a little bit, but it was really a lot of fun. I had some new jokes. I have a tamer set. Tom was talking about wanting to create a set that even a 4-year-old could laugh at. I found that our jokes were very vulgar, and then so I sort of tamed it down a bit. And so I felt happy, I felt confident with my material, and it was a lot of fun. And the room was just packed full of people, and so that's always a good feeling. So that's my moment of appreciation. I know I had others, but being on stage there really sort of erased everything else. We must have done something nice. Yes, yes, we went to dinner. That's what it was. Oh, we went to breakfast, brunch. Right? That was awesome, right?
Yes,
yes. Sam were there. We went to brunch with a few people. There's a picture of it on the Appreciationist Instagram account. So it's you can find out with the hashtag Appreciationist. Also hashtag MOA for Moment of Appreciation. And it was one of those experiences where, you know, I don't tend to go out with people. I don't tend to hang out with people. I haven't done that much in my life. But it was so fun, and I felt comfortable around every single person that was there. I honestly thought the only thing that would make this better is if Beatty was there. And I couldn't for the life of me imagine, like, did it slip our mind? Like, were you not available? Like, what was that? I can't remember. But I know Alex set it up, so I think it was Alex who was in charge of that. But we're definitely going to have to do this.
I have to talk to Alex about it.
Right.
Indeed. Just want to make sure, Bernadette, I see your square there, but I don't see a mute or camera or anything like that. Are you there with us? Okay, I guess we'll get going. No worries about that. You guys know what's next, right?
Yes.
Joke of the week.
The joke of the week. Okay, so let's see. So it's not going to be the Christian joke. So we have to choose between. I see that. I see that. Nobody watching at home knows what just happened. The Val is getting ready. Okay, so we have inspiration left over from last week and possibility, which was provided to us by Val. Do you guys see this the right way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I guess it's just my handwriting that makes it look like I wrote it backwards because terrible handwriting. Inspiration and possibility.
Possibility. Possibility.
Okay, possibility.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, here we go.
Unanimous.
So inspiration is left over.
It's unanimous.
Was that?
Unanimous.
Unanimous. Possibility is what's here for now. Inspiration is going to be here again for another week. If you want to vote on that joke, you can do that on Twitter, or you can contact us write a comment anywhere you want, or just come on the show and vote online. Here we go. So this is a funny joke. A guy named Joe receives a free ticket to the Super Bowl from his company. Okay, you guys know what the Super Bowl is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a guy named Joe receives a Super Bowl ticket from his company. Unfortunately, when Joe arrives at the stadium, he realizes the seat is in the last row in the corner of the stadium. He's closer to the Goodyear blimp than the field. Just a little bit of water warning. Anyway, it's kind of a rough joke, but I think you guys will take it. Okay. About halfway through the first quarter, Joe sees through his binoculars an empty seat 10 rows off the field right on the 50-yard line. Okay, so he sees a closer seat. He decides to take a chance and makes his way through the stadium and around the security guards to the empty seat. As he sits down, Joe asks the gentleman sitting next to him, "Excuse me, is anyone sitting here?" The man says, "No." Now, very excited to be in such a great seat for the game, Joe again inquires of the man next to him, "This is incredible. Who in their right mind would have a seat like this at the Super Bowl and not use it?" The man replies, "Well, actually, the seat belongs to me. I was supposed to come with my wife, but she passed away. This is the first Super Bowl we haven't been together at since we got married in 1967. "Well, that's really sad," said Joe. "But still, you couldn't find anyone to take the seat? A friend, a close relative?" "No," the man replies. "They're all at the funeral."
Oh my God! Horrible.
I know it's horrible, but you know, we all have a little horrible in us, and sometimes it's fun to play around. That's a tie into our conversation about negative people. You know, we all have a little bit of negative people inside of us sometimes, and it's okay to let it out sometimes. Come on, it's a joke. It's okay. It reminds me of a joke that I said on stage. Where I kind of insulted the audience. I said that the audience sucked, and it felt so good to be a little bit mean. Have you ever felt that way? Sometimes it's like a little good to be a little bit mean, especially with somebody else who's mean. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a quick second. I just want to let you guys know, well, we've talked about it already in our segment, What a Great Idea, where I point you towards an idea, a product, a service, a website that is worth your attention, because whatever we give our attention to becomes a bigger part of our experience. And of course, Sam, you know what today's What a Great Idea is. It's your segment on CBC International.
Oh, it is. That's okay. That's why you posted it on the Appreciationist like that on Facebook.
Indeed, and I love that they are doing a segment on happiness. I just love the energy that was there. I love that they were interested in talking to people. I mean, people that I trust, people that I feel have integrity. And I think let's support their show tonight. So whether you can watch it on TV or watch it online, go check that out, because you know, if we get them a lot of views, then maybe we'll get more segments on happiness. Maybe Sam will be on TV again, and Valerie and Beatty will be there this time, and maybe they'll let Peter be on. I don't know. So check that out. So today we're talking about negative people. So you guys ever have any trouble dealing with negative people, or you guys all zen? You guys are all fine with that?
No, sometimes I have problems dealing with negative people.
Yeah? Are you alone in that, Val?
Sorry?
Beatty's not in her head. Sam?
So I don't like negative people as a term at all anymore. I find it puts a label on somebody as if they're negative. So I prefer saying, you know, somebody who doesn't feel so well, or somebody who's not so happy, somebody who's, because even a negative person, they're only negative in certain times in their life. Like, it doesn't mean they're negative all the time, and so it's just a label that I don't really like. But so sometimes I have a hard time with people who are not feeling so great and who are projecting. But it more depends on how I'm feeling in the moment that I'm dealing with them. Either I can deal with it, I can you know, breathe, or sometimes I'm just not bothered at all. I don't take it personally. I realize that it's them who are going through something. So it really depends on how I'm doing that day.
Well, that's very zen of you. I was going to say that there are negative people, and I just don't like them. But I do understand that, and part of why we're talking about this is someone actually mentioned to me how well Sam handled a negative person in a meetup. They were actually very impressed by you. They thought the person was obnoxious, but on top of that, they were inspired by how well you did it. This is where the topic today has come from, and so I recognize that any group of people, you're going to have, you know, negative people coming in. You're going to have people who are predominantly in that moment in a negative zone, not willing to be conducive to quality conversation, coming to vent, whatever it is. And a very common statement that I hear from people, especially with the law of attraction, especially people trying to feel more positive is that they say, well, I'm positive, but everyone around me is negative. Have you heard this?
Yes, I've heard that.
I'm the good one. I'm the good one. Everybody else is the bad one. And to that I say, like what Sam says, you wouldn't even recognize them as being so negative if you weren't in that place. We've all had the experience of being in the car and getting cut off in traffic. And you get cut off sometimes and you're very upset, and other times you get cut off and you're not bothered at all, right?
Yep.
Has that ever happened? I mean, maybe some people are bothered every single time, but there are times where I get cut off and it doesn't bother me. And I notice it's because of the mood that I'm in. If I'm having a fun, playful time, someone cuts me off, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. If I'm having a negative time, I'm rushing to get somewhere, someone cuts me off, and now I'm upset. And I'm thinking about it for a while. So negative people are far more a reflection of what's going on within you as opposed to what's going on within them. And in fact, let me tell you this funny little secret. When you learn how to deal with negative people, when you realize that they're a reflection of who you are, and when you learn to appreciate what they're giving you, negative people tend to be kind of funny. Have you ever heard someone just sit down and for the longest time complain about something that really doesn't matter? Have you had that experience of complaining about the weather? Beatty today, she was talking about how she's glad that the sun, it's not hot and sunny outside. But then you have other people that are just complaining about the rain, and it's kind of humorous. It's kind of funny to hear, this is what we want to talk about. So negative people, when you get used to it, when you get used to that zone, they can actually be a source of pleasure. Just like when you go see a movie, you don't want to go necessarily see a movie where everything goes well. You want to go see a movie where there's trouble for the hero. And maybe they work it out, but by seeing the trouble, it's kind of cool. Sam, she has this particular humor where she's like laughing at the slapstick where someone slips on a banana peel, not in real life, but in a TV show, and she finds that funny. Well, a lot of people find that stuff kind of funny because, in some sense, when somebody gets conked on the head, it's kind of a funny situation. Now, I do have some problems with it sometimes. I remember I was at a private session one time, and this lady, she was telling me this sad story. Like, she was sad, and she was crying. She had tears. That's a form of negativity, right? She was sad. And I was just smiling and almost laughing in her face because I saw her sadness and her pain so beautiful. Like, she was alive, you know? She was like the most alive. And I was like, in my heart, I felt such love for her, but my face betrayed this sort of happy grin. And I have to remind myself, okay, sometimes when you're dealing with negative people, it's not the time to cheer too loudly, right? It's not the time to sing their praises. So when dealing with negative people, how do you guys deal with negative people? How do you were able to do it? So we know how Sam does it. She'll let us know in a second. But how do you, Val, deal with negative people in your environment?
I used to not deal with it too well, honestly. I didn't know what to do because I was always trying to get them to change. So I was just increasing the problem by giving attention to, and again, I totally agree with Sam. It's not that people are negative, they're just going through a negative phase or whatever, or a moment, and it happens to all of us. I've been through it myself, for sure. So it used to be very difficult for me. Now I'm more detached from it because I've learned, first of all, that not to fuel it. So that's one thing. And at the same time, it's kind of none of my business for me to change them. It is up to me to take care of how I feel and change my perspective on things. So this is, and I know you've talked about it last week, preparing myself. Like if I know I'm walking into a situation where there may be some negativity, prepare myself. And so then I'm more centered and I can deal with it in a better way. So it's very close to what Sam was saying. I totally agree.
That's excellent. That's exactly what I told the person yesterday. If you wait until the actual moment you deal with to center yourself, well, then you're going to have a harder time. You're going to have snap reactions. You're going to react based on the pattern that you have set. But if you know that you're walking into something, you can prepare yourself beforehand. Or even if you don't know you're going to walk into something, just sit at home and conjure up times where you had a difficult situation, where you met someone difficult, and rework the situation in your mind to train yourself so that you behave differently when you walk into that situation. So I love what you said, Val. Baby, how do you deal with negative people?
Well, in the past. Sorry?
A gun? You shoot them?
A gun?
A gun? No. No, I never touched a gun. Like, it's gonna be tomorrow. No, I had some coworker who were very negative. Okay, yeah, there was a girl. She's like office manager, and she likes to talk a lot. And most of the stuff that she says is like all complaints, like what Peter has said. Well, it's really hard to listen to some people complain. It's like it never ends. A different story every day, but none of them are pleasant. So I have to like, oh, sorry, I have to go. I have somewhere to be. And then I ran away. Then over time, yeah, there are some people, when you ask them, oh, how are you doing? How have you been? We haven't seen each other for so long. And then the first couple of things out of their head is like, oh, there is something wrong. I got into some problems. I mean, it's not like I don't want to hear that, but it just, if there are so many, and it makes me feel so unbalanced, and I can feel their sadness, and it's sending out this difficult vibes, and I don't know what to say. Like, what would I say? There is no material for a conversation. So I find that sad. But over time, I find it's, for me, the better way to deal with it might be I have to be a happier person myself, and I try to do the things that's more interesting, more positive, and I somehow influence them, but by what I do.
Very good. I really like that. I love what you're saying there. Two things there. So one, I like to encourage people not to be the type of person who has to run away from negative people, right? But at the same time, it's completely okay not to spend time with people who consider you negative. We don't have to be saints here. We don't necessarily have to be friends with everyone. It's perfectly okay to reduce or remove people from your life. And there's something about being a happy person that it kind of makes negative people not even want to hang around you. And so, yes, becoming a happy person is actually a very good, it's like an inoculation. It's like getting a vaccine. When you're a happy person, the negative people, they want to talk to you, and everything that comes out of your mouth is a solution. It's positively oriented, and they're annoyed. They're annoyed by you. You know, you're bothering them, and so they go away. So two things. One is I encourage people to learn how to deal with negative people because they're everywhere. I mean, the world is infested with them. Thank God, and thank God because we'd be out of work, wouldn't we? Yeah. Thank God for negative people, but also it's perfectly good for them for you to reduce your time with them, and by being a happier person, you'll be able to make those judgments even better. Sam, what do you think? How do you manage to deal with negative people? I mean, we've talked about it already. Mm-hmm. What's your insight on this?
Well, so I agree. Like, I don't hang around people who are negative if I don't need to, or but it'll happen, right? It'll happen either in meetup groups, it'll happen at work or whatnot. It'll happen in different situations that I'm around negative people or see things that I really don't like. But I've had so I worked in a drug rehab center for many years, and I've dealt with people who you would consider the most negative, the most down, suffering the most. And people who are suffering the most are extremely unpleasant. They're extremely unpleasant because they're suffering. And so, of course, they're going to show that. They're going to exude that. They're going to cry. They're going to get angry. They're going to be defensive. And so, because I spent so many years working with these people, I got to know them past that initial annoyance, past that initial them screaming at me or them calling me names, or I got past that, and I was able to see beyond what's really going on. I was able to see that they were really hurting, that they were suffering, that they wanted to trust people but they didn't. They wanted support but they didn't have it. I just saw that there was so much more to it than them just being negative. And so, because I experienced that for so many years, and I really learned to understand and have a lot of compassion, now when I'm dealing with somebody who is negative, I see it right away. It's almost automatic that I realize that it's not about me. Even if it's directed towards me, it's not about me. Like, it's really about how they're feeling, what's going on in their mind and in their life. And so it's almost automatic that I remember that. There are certain things that, sometimes it'll rub me the wrong way. It'll bother me. Like, I'll already have like certain irritants that I haven't worked through, or it'll push certain buttons, and then I catch myself. Like, I can see that I get irritated. I can see that I get annoyed, but then, and then I take care of it on my own. I never rebuttal or fight with somebody, or, you know, I just realize, oh, yeah, that's something I need to work through. Like, why is this bothering me so much? But that's the biggest thing, is just, no matter who is negative around you, just realize it's because they're unhappy. Like, that's really all it is, and it's not about you, it's really about them, and that really makes it feel much better, like, right away.
The negative people would talk to you in a very negative way, though. Like,
yeah.
How do you think? I try not to take things personally, but I mean, for example, if I'm in a car with a negative guy and he's driving and he's very aggressive and he's being very upset with people cutting him off, or some driver who's been slow and he cursed them, saying nasty things about strangers, I mean, that's something I cannot live with.
No, and so it depends. Yeah, and so it depends on the situations. Like, I've talked in meetup groups where people are like, yeah, well, I saw somebody screaming at somebody else on the street, and I say, well, it's really up to you what you want to do in certain situations. If I was in a car with that guy, I would say something, right? Like, I would say, listen, this, you know, try and calm down. It's okay. It's not so serious. It depends on the situation, but I would definitely speak up in a way to, you know, let them know, like, calm down, or let me out of the car, you know, like, do something, or let me out of the car. I don't want to be a part of this. It's dangerous, first of all. And so I think it's situation by situation. You don't want to just not say anything and suffer. If you're not able to work it through on your own and say, okay, they're just angry, it has nothing to do with me, you can speak up and say, listen, I don't feel respected, especially if it's towards you. Like, I'm sorry, calm down, I don't feel respected. Like, you want to speak your mind as well, but in a, like, you don't want to go and be super angry with a super angry person, because that'll just cause conflict. But you can still express yourself in a calm manner to let them know, like, okay, something's gotta change, or let me go, you know.
Sometimes the best time to do that. Sometimes the best time to talk to somebody who's quote unquote negative person. We're putting labels on, but we shouldn't, like Sam is saying. But there we are. Well, shouldn't. It might be better if we didn't, but if we want to, it's perfectly fine. And so the negative people, and sometimes the best time to talk to them is not when they're being their most negative, right? It's when they've calmed down and when they're in a better mood. That's the time where it might be you can bring it up casually. Now it's harder to do that because just like them, you want to speak up and express yourself when you're feeling the heightened emotion, when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling annoyed by the person. That's when you want to speak up, because the situation's happening right now. You're in the car with them, they're being aggressive, and you want to speak up right now. But that may not be the best time. And so by having a cooler head, by preparing yourself, you might be in a frame of mind to hold that thought and to save it for when it might be available for fertile grounds. I want to give you a very quick example. It's kind of silly, but if you guys don't mind, I'll try to say it this way. When I was growing up, I used to watch this TV show, this kids show called Reboot. Have you guys ever heard of it? Reboot.
Don't think so. No.
Okay, so I don't think most people have heard about it. It was a big show, but it was a geek show. It was these characters that lived in a computer system. Okay, this was a long time ago. They lived in a computer system. Now, what was strange about this computer world, these people walked around, they lived in their neighborhoods and all that stuff, but every once in a while, the user who was outside of their world would plug in a game into their computer, and the game would load in their world. But it didn't load everywhere. What would happen is that, just like you were walking downtown Montreal, this huge sort of cube would fall from the sky onto a very specific area. And everybody who was in that cube, in that area, got sucked into a game temporarily. They were the characters of the game that the person was playing. Now, sometimes the game was easy, but sometimes the game was hard. Sometimes there was very horrible things were happening in the game. And everybody who was outside of the game, inside of the world, was like waiting to see who was going to survive and what was going to happen. And there were people who had it as their mission to go and make sure that they were in every game so that they could save people, so they can help people. I bring it up because when the game came down, they realized that all they had to do was survive for the length of the game. Not forever, just for the length of the game. You just have to survive the car ride. You just have to survive this discussion. And so when the negative thing is happening to me, I don't go, oh, this terrible thing is happening. I go, well, this is happening for a short amount of time, temporarily, for the hour, for the day, whatever it is, and I can deal with it for that amount of time. So I engage with it like I would a game. I go, oh, a negative person. Okay, here we go. I'm the hero. I'm the hero. I'm going to make this better, and for the duration of this game, I'm going to use them. So I use negative people as an opportunity for growth, because I don't believe we should walk around in the world only paying attention to those things that make us also be eager for the bad things sometimes as we are for the good things. Not for the frequency of it, but for the opportunity that it provides us to practice who we are. Because when Sam expressed appreciation and she cared for the person who was negative in her meetup, it made it better for the people who saw it. And the person who saw it now has a story and is improved because of how she acted. And so I see them as opportunities. And the last thing I want to say is to tie into what Sam was saying, I never blame people for what they say when they're in a bad mood. Because all of us can be in a bad mood where we say things that we don't really mean. We're not really wanting to be that way, but if you're in that zone, you express yourself in that way. So if you're dealing with people who are down in the dumps or whatever it is, you just gotta know that what they're saying is not really true. It's only true from the perspective that they hold, and you want to forgive them instead of blaming them for how they're being. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who's being negative is suffering. No matter what their life looks like, they could have $1 million. Anybody who's being negative is suffering. And I have compassion for people who are suffering. And so by having compassion for people, it's easier for me to... we talked about detachment. Val talked about detachment. It's easier to detach yourself from the situation when you recognize that even the words that they're saying aren't really true. They're only true for the perspective that they hold. And if you had the life that they had, and if you experienced all the moments that they had, you too would be behaving the exact same way.
No.
So in the Bible we learned...
wait, oh, baby says no.
No. If I go through the same thing, my perspective is more positive, I would not suffer as the same.
That's not what I mean. What you're saying is absolutely true, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is, if from birth until that moment you experienced every moment the exact same way they did, every circumstance exactly the same way, you would be them. You would be acting out that same way. What I'm saying is that we behave. Our behavior is the result of all that we have lived. Our parents, every comment that was said to us, every Facebook page post, every night of restful sleep, everything that ever happened in your life led you to this moment. And if you had the road that person led, you would be them, and you would be acting in the same way. So just recognizing that if the world was different and you were in their shoes, that you would be behaving in the same way. And if you were behaving in the same way, how would you like to be treated if you were in their shoes? In the Bible, in church, I learned they said they were going to stone this woman. She was an adulteress. She cheated on her husband, and in those days they stoned women for that. I mean, in parts of the world today they still do that, but they stoned her for that. And Jesus stepped in and stopped and said, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." If you're blameless, then you can blame her. But if you've ever hurt someone, if you've ever done wrong, if you've ever sinned, then you don't have a leg to stand on to chastise someone else. And so if you've never been mean, if you've never snapped at anyone, if you've never done anything, you would find it more comfortable. But I know personally that there are times worse. And so when I see that in others, I treat them the way I would like to be treated, with compassion and with care. And by recognizing that they are simply an aspect of myself, I'm not being nice to them for their sake. I'm being nice to them for my sake, because it makes my life better.
Peter, your camera's going slowly. I don't know if it's just me. Does anybody else see Peter going like extremely slowly?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's and yes.
Is there anything you can close?
Yeah, and I'm seeing it for everybody.
Oh, you're seeing us.
I tried to close.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the connections are all a little wonky. From the beginning, everybody's been going slow, so we'll just have to accept that. Hopefully, someone came across there. But I think the baseline was, you don't have to spend time with negative people, but of course they're going to be around sometimes. Prepare yourself before you walk into those situations. Learn to understand that you could be in their shoes and have compassion for them. And it might not make things easy, but it'll certainly make things easier. I know there's a lot more. Please.
I have a friend, I don't know, it just popped into my head as you were talking. I have a friend of mine who's very wise, and what she says when, because she only speaks English, and sometimes she's in a French environment and people are not happy that she doesn't speak French. And so she always smiles like crazy, and she says, I see the love that they are. And so that's all she sees, is just love. And by seeing that, things always go well for her, always. Even if people are grumpy, the minute she meets them, like within seconds, they like, I don't know, they just love her. And so it's beautiful.
I really like that. I really like that. Was there anything left to say?
Not
I'm
me.
going to say one more thing. It's a little strange, but if you guys don't mind, can I be a little strange?
Sure.
Please.
You're always a little strange.
So I believe, Tom and I, we believe this. I believe that scope of the universe, that eventually, this is what I believe, okay? Eventually, we will all experience life from everyone else's perspective. One day I'll be Val, one day I'll be Sam, one day I'll be Baby. One day I'll be every single person who has ever lived. Because as time goes on and as the infinite universe progresses, that I'm going to experience these lives, these versions. Because every possibility that can exist does exist. And there's a possibility that I can be you in some alternate reality. And so I treat people with compassion because I recognize that one day I will be the person receiving the compassion that I'm giving. Okay, I'm hearing silence. Maybe everybody's frozen up. But it's just the way that I see the world. It's just a narrative that I've created, and it helps me understand things a little bit better. And it just makes it easier to forgive people because I really feel like I'm forgiving myself. Look, I know there's a lot more we can say on this subject. Maybe we'll have a meetup on it. But I had a fun time. Did you guys have a fun time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I learned.
Yeah.
Lots.
Good.
Yeah, me too.
Really cool moments of appreciation. I'm really looking forward to tonight. It's almost 8 o'clock, and so we got to get ready to get some popcorn popped, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Look, I want to thank you guys. Just before I let you guys go, what's for dinner?
Oh, I'm going to have squid pancake.
Squid pancake.
Yeah, it's like a Korean, but there's a Korean restaurant. They put shredded carrots and shrimp and squid into a pancake. That looks like a pizza, and it's actually a pancake. That's what they call it. And I try to make it myself. I don't have shrimp. I don't have carrots. I didn't want to shred them. So there's just squid.
Baby, you're
so I'm assuming it tastes good. That is really cool. I really like that. That is very interesting. I like that. Sam, what's for dinner?
I got nothing. I got nothing to say. I don't know what's for dinner. I don't know what's for dinner, and I don't think I enjoy. Oh, okay. So
it doesn't have to be for tonight.
No, I know, and that's what I was trying to think. Like, is there anything? I don't think there's been anything special, except there's a place around my house, Boulangerie Laura or Jora, and they have very nice sandwiches, salads, and soups for extremely cheap and very yummy. And so that was my lunch, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Well, for me, it was brunch on Sunday. Actually.
Oh yeah.
I know, yeah. It was very good. I had eggs Benedict with sausages and goat cheese on them, and then the fruits were also really, really good. So I really enjoyed my brunch on Sunday.
Mm.
Very cool. And of course we ate it with friends, so that's always a lot of fun. I've been making some delicious burgers with avocado, jalapenos, black olives, with chipotle sauce, cheddar cheese, old cheddar cheese, and that's what I want to eat tonight. Oh no! I forgot to defrost my meat. Anyway,
Microwave.
Microwave, or maybe I'll go get some squid pancakes, you know. Anyway, thank you guys.
I know, this is always so great.
Have fun, you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Can't wait to see the show.
Yay!
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Really awesome. I know we've had some connection issues, so we'll see how that show went.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. Just gonna announce our events real quick. Sam, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first. So this is Self-Discovery Montreal Meetup. If you want to check it out, it's meetup.com/self-discovery-Montreal. So there's this Saturday, in collaboration with Law of Attraction Montreal, we're going to be doing karaoke night. Leave your comfort zone. We have like 50 people RSVP'd already, so that should be extremely exciting, extremely fun, and maybe you'll need some earplugs, but so that's happening on Saturday. I have a healthy weight group life coaching happening on Monday in Verdun for the first time. That'll be very fun. Then May 2nd, I have an improv workshop. That's also a Leave Your Comfort Zone meetup. After that, I have Sunday, May 3rd, a special edition of an appreciation walk that I've planned with another member of the group called Tonya. It was her idea. It's a part of these Jane walks that are happening. Actually, there's all sorts of walks happening that weekend, the weekend of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of May in Montreal. There are tons of walks happening all over the city. You can check that out. And we're going to do one in the Verdun waterfront. So that'll be very fun. I've also planned another Pursuit of Happiness group discussion for May 7th. And then I also have a sexuality group life coaching for women only on May 17th. So that's my whole calendar for now. So take a look, and I'll be happy to see you.
That's really cool. I really like that. I don't know if it was choppy for everybody, but just before your karaoke event, I don't know if you said something, you kind of cut out. Was there an event before karaoke?
No. That's the first.
Good. Excellent. So yes, the karaoke event is a joint event. That's going to be April 25th. We have a lot of people already RSVP'd. How many people?
50.
Oh my God. And I don't think there's going to be a hockey game, so I think all 50 people will be coming out. We'll probably take over the whole place. So come with a song already in mind. April 30th, we have a community discussion of self-love. That's going to be the Law of Attraction. That's going to be at the Chai Tea Lounge to meet up in depth about the Law of Attraction. So come up to that. And then, of course, May 8th, technology, spirituality, and the evolving future. It's community discussion for Happy for a Change. And you can find all that information either at www.meetup.com/TLOAMTL. TLOA is in the Law of Attraction, MTL is in Montreal. And you can also find meetup.com/Happy for a Change to find the Happy for a Change meetups. And of course, tune in next Wednesday for an exciting episode of The Appreciationist. It's fun, Sam.
Bye.
Time to party.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.